Welcome to Your Region This Week. I'm Carla Fitzsimmons. In this special episode, we highlight the important work of the Cambridge Fire Department. Every year, thousands of lives are changed by fires that could have been prevented. We get a first-hand look at the training and meet some of the dedicated staff who play key roles in keeping our community safe. Emergency responders must always be ready for the unexpected. Continuous training ensures their skills stay sharp and keep them up to date with the latest techniques and safety regulations.
My name is Henry Aguilar. I'm a training officer with the Cambridge Fire Department.
Dispatch, home 31 is on Route 1625, Bishop Street North, construction area.
Firefighting is an ever-changing career, and for the training division, we have to keep up with new trends, new techniques, new equipment, and challenges that come with new buildings, how they're constructed nowadays. And our role is to make sure that our firefighters are well trained to respond to a broad range of emergencies. It's from different techniques that they improve, different technology that comes out, whether it is for firefighting or other types of emergencies we respond to. We have to make sure that our firefighters are being trained to the latest techniques. They have the latest equipment that is available. More frequency in certain emergencies, of course, and there is less frequencies in others. But in readiness, we have to be as ready as we are for the one there is high frequency as there is low frequency. So for the train division is to make sure that our firefighters are well trained for those low frequency emergencies that we attend to. So how we train, so for us, our options that we have is our training ground out of headquarters. We also have the regional training center, West Rec, that we do training and also in class. So part of these scenarios are live fire scenarios. We also use what's available in the city in regards to ponds, rivers, because we respond as operational level for water rescue. And we train in the same places that we would be responding to and getting familiar with all the equipment. And we do this through scenarios and also hands-on training.
When an alarm sounds, firefighters rush into action, but behind every emergency response is a skilled team supporting those on the front line.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Cambridge Fire Department. Come on in. Hi everyone, my name is Sabrina. I'm one of the administrative assistants here at Cambridge Fire. My role is the administrative assistant to the fire chief. Today I'm here to highlight the role of our administrative division and the fabulous work we do. Although the administration division is quite small, we are a vital part of the department, ensuring smooth operations and overall efficiencies. Our team works closely with each division within the fire service and is often the first point of contact, ready to assist the public with inquiries when they come in. Admin helps keep everything running smoothly behind the scenes so our department can focus on keeping our community safe. Our day-to-day tasks do vary and quite often change to adapt to community needs, but some of the day-to-day tasks include things like scheduling, records management, assisting with budget and preparation, purchasing, billings, payroll entry, report preparation, pulling of statistical data, ordering and tracking supplies such as gear, equipment, clothing, and my list goes on. But in a nutshell, our job is to ensure each division is well supported. Supporting Cambridge Fire as a department also means supporting our entire community, and we are so proud to be part of a team that's dedicated to protecting lives and property each day. I hope you found that insightful. Take care.
Unattended cooking is the leading cause of home fires. Let's stay safe, spread the word, and make fire safety a top priority. Together, we can make a difference. While you're cooking, keep your oven area and stovetop area free from anything that could catch on fire. If you have a grease fire, if safe to do so, the best thing is just putting a lid over top, only if safe to do so though. You want to call 911 and get out of the house.
Have you ever thought about just how much politics you speak about just in your own kitchen or in your living room? Or how many important ideas are shared or solutions to some of the world's biggest problems? Well, you're in luck, because I'm inviting some of my friends to come and speak to me about everyday politics, and I'm bringing my living room to you. So join me on Wednesday evenings from 6 until 7 for Everyday Politics with Laura May Lindo.
Sports is life. It's clear cut. Everything's out in the open. There's nowhere to hide. I had to prove myself more than anyone else.
You must be so proud of your son. He's gonna go pro. The sky's the limit.
There's always a winner and a loser.
You cannot reach the sky in broken cleats.
Of course, I always want to be the winner. And I did reach the sky.
Norman Kwong, the first Chinese-Canadian professional football player, still holds records to this day. He retired from the sport in 1960 and later became Lieutenant Governor of Alberta.
The regulars, the guys who keep this place in business. Last week, they had something to celebrate. Jason had just finished university. So they toasted his profs, his TAs, his old roommates. Well, they toasted just about everyone. But I worry about and take care of my guys. So even when I know they're not driving, sometimes that means bringing them a little surprise. And then they had a drink to me.
Brought to you by Smart Serve Ontario and Arrive Alive, Drive Sober.
Welcome back. In an emergency, every second counts. From the moment a 911 call is placed to the arrival of the first responders, precision and coordination are critical.
Yeah, 123.
Fire department for what city? And the address?
270 Strasbourg Road.
And what's going on at 270 Strasbourg
Fire
Road?
in the key. Not sure if it's out yet. Building's full of smoke.
A structure fire?
Yes.
In this next story, we take you behind the scenes of fire dispatch in Waterloo Region to see how it all unfolds.
So fire communications or dispatch takes all of the 911 calls that come in for all of Waterloo Region when it's fire related. So when you initially call 911, your call gets routed to police department, and then from the police department, if you say you need the fire department, you come to us. When we answer your call, we take your information. Based on your address location, we send the closest units to you as a fire response.
Yeah, 123.
Fire department for what city? And the address?
270 Strasbourg Road.
And what's going on at 270 Strasbourg
Fire in the key. Not sure if it's out yet. Building's full of smoke.
A structure fire?
Yes, in the kitchen.
In the kitchen? And you know, is everybody evacuating the building? Remember that we're professional and we're here to help you. So the best way to let us do that is to give us the information as we ask it of you. Location is the most important thing. If we don't know where you are, we can't send you the help that you need. The second most important information is what's going on. Once we know the location and what's happening, we can send the appropriate resources, and that's when we're going to collect any secondary information like name, phone number, callback information, any additional information based on the premise or anything else that's happening at that time. The location response just depends on where the call actually is. We have time guidelines within dispatch that require us to have the call answered and dispatched within 60 seconds. So the faster we can do that, the faster we can get the help that you need. If you're within a city, your typical response time is 3 to 5 minutes. If you're out in one of our rural areas, the response time is going to be a little bit longer because all of our rural departments are on call with a pager. They respond to the station and then they respond to the location of the emergency. So when we receive a 911 call, the most important information again is to give us the location and what's going on for your emergency. So if it's a fire, that it's a house fire or a building fire, or maybe it's a fire outside, it's a bonfire that's gotten out of control or something like that, as long as we know the address and the type of emergency, we can get the appropriate resources dispatched. After that, any secondary information. So for example, you have a storage shed and it has gasoline in it or anything like that, that's always really important information to pass along to the call taker, because that's going to impact our responders as they're responding. A lot of times people say, just get me the help, just get me the help. And they think that because we are still call taking or gathering additional information that we don't have the resources deployed. So that's probably one of the most important things, is knowing that if you give us the address and you give us the emergency, we have somebody sending those trucks. So if we're asking you additional questions, that's not holding up your response time at all. It's just building a clearer, better picture for the responders on their way. Also giving us a full story ahead of time before telling us the address or the emergency delays your response. So the call takers ask you the questions in a particular order for a reason. So just answer the call takers' questions as well as you can. And we recognize that it's an emergency, but we are professionals and we're going to do the best we can to get you the best resources as quickly as possible. Yes, if anyone's calling emergency from emergency on a cell phone, you can access that on anyone's cell phone without knowing their entry code. And knowing that with the predominance of cell phones now, it's not like in the movies and we don't necessarily know your exact location. So when you call 911 from a cell phone, it's really important to teach everybody what their address is. And that goes for kids, that goes for babysitters. A really good tip that we have is that anytime if you have young kids and someone else is there looking after them, is to have your address information just on a sticky note on the fridge or something on the fridge. Because in an emergency, people panic and they forget where they are. And that's one of the first things that, if you're a teenage babysitter and you're babysitting someone and you have a child choking or something like that, or they've bonked their head and they're bleeding, what happens typically is they'll panic and they'll forget their location. So we want to make sure that they have that information accessible to them so that when they're calling 911, they can give that information clearly and concisely so the help can get on their way. I've been with the fire department for about 19 years. And in my career, I've definitely seen a big progression from landline to cell phone. Landline was great. It gave you the exact location that the bill was registered to. So 99% of the time, it was the location that we needed to go. With cell phones, we get, it's called a cell drop, and that typically brings you within a reasonable area of the location, but it doesn't always give you the exact address. So our percentages now are very predominant cell phone or VoIP. And VoIP is your like your Rogers phones and things like that, and they don't always have an exact address associated either. So we have, I would say it's probably less than 10% now that we get an actual landline call from a landline with an associated address. Everything else is done based on the closest proximity of cell towers or things like that. We have help on the way. If anything changes, give me a call back on 911 before we get there, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Dispatch pump 32.
Charlie Delta side of the building at the rear. We have lightning is in here.
Pump 31 is on Route 1625 Bishop Street North, construction.
Roger, Pump 31.
In an emergency, every second counts. If you see a fire or any emergency situation, dial 911 immediately. Stay calm and provide the operator with clear information about the situation. When you hear sirens and see flashing lights, pull over to the right and stop. Make sure to leave enough space for them to pass safely. By doing so, you're helping those brave firefighters reach the emergency in time. Your quick action can make all the difference between life and death. Let's work together to ensure a swift and effective response to all emergencies. Protect your community, protect lives.
After a night out with your friends, there's always options for getting home safely. You could call your BFF, your mom or dad, whoever you can count on for a safe ride home. You could call your favorite cab company or 1-888 taxi guy. Or you could use the Arrive Alive smartphone app to help you choose your ride. Be it a friend, transit, or taxi, getting home safely is app easy. Now available for iOS and Android devices. Visit arrivealive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive, drive sober.
My name is Chef D. Most days, you'll find me feeding high-profile personalities in even higher-pressure kitchens. But now I'm taking an ordinary food truck and a slice of summer to get out of my comfort zone and into parts of the community normally out of my reach. It's a gamble, but if I can use my passion for food to help out some amazing folks, it'll be worth the road trip.
It's the personal finance show that dares to ask those money questions you've always wanted to. Join Mike Bregueth when he talks with experts on all aspects of money. Money Matters with Mike Bregueth, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Roger.
David Prang from the Chamber of Commerce, Brantford Brant, speaks with community members about events and organizations that impact the city of Brantford and the county of Brant. Chamber TV, Thursdays at 6:30 p.m., right here on Rogers TV.
Everybody knows not to drink and drive, but some people still think it's okay to take drugs and drive. Police have the authority, the ability, and the tools to determine if drivers are impaired by legal or illegal drugs. And because drug-impaired drivers can pose just as great a risk as drunk drivers, they face the same penalties, like the loss of their driver's license, a criminal record, fines, and more. A message from the RCMP, the Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police, and Arrive Alive, Drive Sober.
As severe weather events become more and more frequent, the threat of flooding is top of mind for many communities situated along the Grand River watershed. Emergency preparedness is key. Knowing what to do before, during, and after a flood can make all of the difference.
Hey everyone, my name is Alessia Scrow and I'm an Emergency Management and Business Continuity Coordinator with the City of Cambridge. And I'm here today to talk to you about one of the most significant natural hazards faced by the city, which is flooding. As part of the Grand River watershed, Cambridge is vulnerable to riverine flooding during heavy rainfall, spring snowmelt, or ice jams. Flooding can disrupt lives, damage property, and impact our community. But together, we can stay informed and stay prepared. The City of Cambridge is dedicated to maintaining a proactive approach to flood preparedness. Our emergency management team works closely with city staff and external agencies, including the Grand River Conservation Authority, to monitor weather patterns, river levels, and flood trends. This collaboration ensures that the community remains informed and appropriate safety measures are in place. The city is also committed to flood mitigation efforts. With the installation of flood walls in the event of severe flooding, the city can safely close Main Street Bridge, Concession Street Bridge, and Park Hill Road Bridge to minimize flooding and reduce any potential damage. These implementations are designed to protect our homes, businesses, and historic downtown areas. However, it's important to recognize that preparedness starts with you. Having an emergency kit is essential to your safety and will assist you and your loved ones in the event of a flood or emergencies of a similar nature. Include items like water, non-perishable foods, medications, flashlights, and important documents such as family emergency plans to stay connected in the event of a potential flood evacuation. By working together, we can reduce the impact of flooding and maintain a resilient community. Know that the City of Cambridge is here to support you every step of the way. We welcome you to visit our website at cambridge.ca/emergency preparedness for more information, resources, and tips on how you can stay prepared and stay informed.
Hi there, everybody. I'm Marshall Crocker, and I'm the host of the Brantford Red Sox Report, where we talk about the IBL's Brantford Red Sox, one of the most historic and popular teams in the IBL. We're going to meet the players that make the game happen on the field, and all the staff and community members that make us so entertaining and fun to watch off the field. Check us out every week on Rogers TV.
I'm Wendell Clark with a word about winning. We all know it takes a team effort in any sport and with any challenge. You can be a part of the winning team that shuts out impaired driving. Whether you're out on the town or just hanging out with friends, drink responsibly. Always have a plan for a safe ride home for yourself, your family, and your friends. You'll be helping to shut out impaired driving.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
As I looked upon the battlefield in front of me, a German star shell lit up the desolate landscape. I watched as a bullet smashed through the bridge of my nose and left me to the mercy of the darkness. I worried I would be dependent on others for the rest of my life. But Sir Arthur Pearson and the staff of St. Dunstan's had other plans. With their help, I knew I could be self-reliant, and I wanted to bring this idea home to Canada. I wanted Canadians to know that we could hold jobs, that we could contribute, that regardless of sight, all would read, that we, the blind, would shape our own lives, our own destiny.
Blinded by a sniper's bullet in 1915, Edwin A. Baker went on to co-found the Canadian National Institute for the Blind, shaping a path forward for the blind across Canada for generations to come.
Finally for us, it's a hidden gem in the heart of Galt. The Cambridge Fire Hall Museum and Education Center bridges the past with the present. Take a look.
So today we're going to give you a tour of the Fire Hall Museum and Education Center. It's originally the Galt Fire Station, and it became a museum in 2004. So it was in service from 1898 to 1979, and it serviced the town of Galt. Remember, it wasn't just the city of Cambridge, it was a town of Galt with only thousands of people, so much smaller scale than it is today. So they had a full-time fire service here for that period of time, and then eventually the building became too small, the trucks got too big, and the building was put out of service, and they moved headquarters out to Franklin and Bishop. We've got the building sort of divided into basically two sections: tools of the trade of firefighting, and the second section is the history of Cambridge Fire. And Cambridge is made up of Galt, Preston, and Hespeler. So we have three sections of the city. The fire departments came together when the city amalgamated, and so we show that history, and we show the history of Cambridge Fire in general and firefighting in general to a certain extent.
As part of our historical section, we also have an international display. Pieces have been donated to us either by visiting firefighters, or some of our chiefs have gone to conferences and that sort of thing, and they've brought back all sorts of trinkets and so on from various fire departments from around the world. And we also have a large collection of old fire helmets. We've got helmets from basically around the world. We've got helmets from Japan, from France, from Belgium, from Great Britain, from Canada, of course. And basically it goes from ceremonial helmets to regular firefighters' everyday wear.
And over here we have an example of an older version of GPS. Today we have GPS on our phones, and in the trucks they have GPS terminals to show their direction to the call and some of the details of the call. Back in the day they had, this map was designed by a couple of retired firefighters now that were graphic artists in their former life. And so it's an amazing detailed map, you know, all the size, the lots are proportionally sized and really incredible. So they would use this map to determine which direction they'd go to the call. And these little pegs that you'll see here indicate the hydrants that they'd have available to them on each street. They're colored, which would indicate the size of the water main and the amount of water that's available to them at the fire. So red is a smaller one, yellow is a medium one, and green is a bigger water main. A really valuable tool that the firefighters would have used to get to the call. One other feature it has, Ray talked earlier about the floods that have happened through the town of Galt. This is the Grand River running through the center of Galt, and there's little lines of elevation showing the different heights that the water had come to during some of the floods. And of course, the highest one is 1974, basically flooded the whole downtown area of Galt. So it's a really valuable tool, and it's a great piece of Galt, Cambridge history. And finally, this is the fire bell that we have here. That it was presented to George Huther for the Hesper Fire Brigade. So it's part of the Cambridge heritage. And we use it for donations. So you can donate in the box and you can ring the bell.
And that's our show for this special edition of Your Region This Week. Thanks for watching. I'm Carla Fitzsimmons, and I'll see you next time.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Good afternoon, this is your captain speaking.
You have no idea where in the world you really are.
Wow.
No map, no plan, no clue. This is Destination X.
Well, this ought to be fun. Oh, it's open.
Austria.
All you have to do to win is answer one simple question. Where the X am I?
Summer days, summer nights, lots of things to do, places to go, and people to see. If you're having a few drinks, be sure to plan ahead and get home safely. We don't want to pick you up.